Hopefully, you hear it this week. You not hear nothing? What the fuck?
No.
That's weird. Oh, hey, it was playing. Oh, what the fuck's over there?
You got to hear it. So
Oh yeah, but I mean that's strange though. Like, why the fuck is doing that?
I don't know, man.
I bet you can't hear none of my cheers and shit either.
Probably not.
Because I just did one. You didn't say nothing.
Nope.
That's fucking weird. Like, I wonder what I have to read up and see what the fuck's causing that shit. Oh man. Interesting. I mean, the lights are lighting up when we're talking and stuff. So I don't know why. Like, let me go back and see if it's doing it when I do this. I didn't even pay attention. Yeah.
I don't know, man.
That's weird. I'm going to go back and like listen, watch it later, and see if it actually played through.
Yeah.
Or maybe you're just not here or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not
Fucking
sure.
wild.
I'm not
Fucking
sure.
wild. Anyway, hey, welcome to another weekly edition of Metalheads Unite. Um, should we tell them the news or just make them wait?
Make him wait.
Make them wait. Okay.
Yep, make him wait. Yes.
Before we get into birthdays and stuff, we do want to give a shout out. We're wearing Metal and Tats stuff today in honor of our good friend Dana over there at Metal and Tats. They had their, was it 5th anniversary?
5th anniversary.
Yeah, 5th anniversary over there. So,
Yep, on Monday.
Congrats to those guys. So,
hell yeah, Dana and Krista both.
Yeah, we'll get. Yeah, Dana and Christy. Yeah, we'll get there at some point. But
yeah,
we're working on 3. So.
Yes, we are. So yeah, congratulations to Dana and Krista and all the folks over there at Metal and Tats.
Yeah, they just keep growing over there too.
Yeah, they do. Yes, they do.
He didn't like my comment that I said. That's like,
what? Did I miss something? What comment are you talking about?
I said, man, we growing like me in a strip club. He's like, he put like a puke emoji on it.
Oh, I did see that. I did see that.
I was like, oh man, it was funny.
I did see that. Yep.
Hopefully he'll be on at some point so we can send the love over to him.
But yeah, head on over to Metal and Tats and give them a look see also. So.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Yeah, we're not trying to hog everybody. So.
Yeah. I don't know what just happened.
We can share. So.
Yeah, I don't know what just happened, but I just got really really loud.
Oh, you got like in your own ear?
Yeah. I was like, what the hell?
Oh.
What the hell? That's all. I'm echoing. Like, maybe I got the echo's not even on. So that's fucking weird.
Yeah, we may have to do one of those trial runs off the air. One of these.
There we go. I found this.
Did you? Okay.
I know one of them knobs do it.
Right.
Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah, like I was talking to myself in a bucket for a minute. Like, damn.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it wasn't echo. It was just sound like I'm in a bucket. That's the settings I usually use. So yeah, whatever. As long as everybody out there can hear us, should be okay. So that's all that matters.
Yep, that's true. Well, I mean, you sound fine to me. So
okay, well, that's all that matters. So as long as I'm not echoing and stuff out there, that's all that matters. So
nope.
Cool.
Not currently.
Actually, see if you hear this now.
No, I'm still not hearing anything.
Okay.
Everyone's sitting there right now going, "Why the hell didn't they do this 10 minutes ago?"
Well, no, because it got the little console thing I got loud. So I'm thinking, oh, well, maybe just now connecting or some for some reason.
I don't know.
So I'll give it a shot just to see, but whatever. I'll figure it all out at some point.
Yeah.
And I apologize. I'm a little under the weather too, so just have to bear with me. Oh man. But I said, well, the show must go on. So,
Sure enough.
So excuse me. Guess I will jump into birthdays here from the fifth. Actually, I had one left over from the 15th that didn't make it onto the show last week, so I want to make sure I get that one in, and then up until the 22nd today. So the 15th that I missed was Doyle Wolfgang von Frankenstein, or Frankenstein, however he pronounces that shit. But
yeah,
he's the buff ass guitarist from the Misfits. So
he is very jacked. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's his woman's pretty fucking hot too. So there you go. For people that don't know, that is Alyssa White Blues' man, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So there you go.
The one and only.
Yeah. So of course she's a pretty fit little chick too. So they must keep their total gems on buses with them. I don't know.
Yeah, they probably do. They probably do.
Anyway, carrying on to the 16th of September here. I apologize. We had Dave the Snake Sabo, a guitarist for Skid Row. And we had Eric Smith, a vocalist for Mr. Gray. September 17th, we had Keith Flint. He was a vocalist for Prodigy. Unfortunately, he passed away in 2019. Actually, right before they were supposed to go on to Sonic Temple that year, because I was actually there, and they did a big thing for him there, which was pretty cool. And Papa Roach stepped in because I guess Jacoby lives in Ohio, so they kind of stepped in to take over the Prodigy spot. So they actually did a Prodigy song, which is pretty cool. So anyway, September 18th, we had Charles Hedger, guitarist for Cradle of Filth. September 19th, we had Leah Ford, of course, guitarist and vocalist for Leah Ford, her own band. Jimmy Bauer, guitarist and drums for Down and I Hate God, kind of depends which band. Then September 20th, we had Nuno Betancourt, guitarist for Extreme. Ben Shepard, bassist for Soundgarden. September 21st, we had Filthy Animal Phil Taylor, drummer for Motorhead. He unfortunately passed away in 2015. Did him and Lemmy pass away close together, I think?
Relatively.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty close, which was crazy. Then we had Marcus Grosskopf, bassist, singer, and songwriter for Halloween. David Silveria, drummer for Korn. We had Anthony Vincent. If you don't know who Anthony Vincent is, he is the 10-second song guy, but he also has his own band called Set the Charge. He is a pretty talented vocalist to be able to do all that stuff he does. I was still amazed at some of the stuff he does. I'm just like, wow, I can't believe he can switch from an Ozzy to a Disturbed and then over to something else.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure he was taking in different takes, but it's still pretty amazing. He can kind of sound just like all those guys. And then up until today, September 22nd, we had David Coverdale, singer for Whitesnake and Deep Purple. Joan Jett, vocalist for Joan Jett and the Blackhearts and guitarist. Jesse James Dupree, singer, songwriter, and guitarist for Jackal. Mark Torian, vocalist for the Bullet Boys. And Doug Wimbish, bassist for Living Color. I almost said In Living Color. That's not the TV show, the band.
That's totally different, yeah.
Yeah, so cool. So I brought up it's a pretty cool fact that Joan Jett and Lita Ford was in the same week since they were both in the Runaways together. So
right.
So pretty cool.
It's weird how some of that stuff turned out.
And then of course, we had to bring that up because that's two of the women that kind of set the tone for what we're seeing today. So
yeah. Joan Jett, Lita Ford, the Runaways, and then kind of right around the same era, Doro was kicking ass doing her thing. She was in Warlock for a little while. So yeah, they kind of laid the foundation. So someone had to, might as
yeah,
well
I
have been
mean,
them. So
bringing women into the metal scene now.
yeah.
You have a lot of women out there carrying that torch, so it's pretty
Mm-hmm.
cool.
Yep. It's always good to see. We always appreciate the diversity. I mean, whether it's male, female, of course
Yeah,
we've talked we've talked.
ethnicities,
Yeah, I
everything.
mean, we've talked
Crazy.
at length about just the worldwide contribution
Yeah,
to heavy metal. I mean, you can pretty much you can almost I mean, you can definitely pick of course 6 of the 7 continents. You can pick 6 of the 7 continents and there's metal represented, on all 6 of them. And then you can almost I mean, Russia, China,
yeah.
Japan, Mongolia, Australia, so I mean every single country in Europe, so I mean
Mhm.
there's really nowhere you can't go in the civilized world and find a heavy metal band,
Yeah, it's
which I think is phenomenal.
well, it's crazy. Yeah, it's just wow, it blows my mind really. A lot of
Yeah,
times I'll
really
see
does.
bands, and, even with new bands, we'll kind of pick up, and they'll be from some Peru or something like that, and I'm
Hmm.
like, wow, this is crazy. It's like
Yeah,
we had Spain. So,
the band I reviewed either last week or the week before, they were from Italy, so
yeah,
I mean,
yeah. So
yeah,
yeah, definitely represented pretty strong around the world. So
yeah, it's awesome. Which is good, but also weird because it seems like every time we have a guest, they're from Europe,
right,
almost every time.
which we're probably going to wind up carrying that on over. So
Yeah, yeah, I don't see that trend ending anytime soon. I really don't. Which, like I say, I'm definitely not complaining because Europe
and what
Europe pumps out just
mm,
quality heavy metal. So,
we'll talk a little bit more about that in a little bit too. So
mhm.
uh, there's a lot of stuff I can say about that. So all right, well, happy birthday to those folks, and anybody out there that had a birthday, happy birthday to you as well. So we will kick into the metal news of the week.
Yes, we will. And
Many of it.
unfortunately, yeah, and unfortunately, we do have to start off the segment this week with some bad news. Never like to do it, but we got to do it anyway. Over at the PRP.com, DC hardcore outfit Scream have announced the passing of their drummer Bennett Kent Stax, a founding member of the outfit. His bandmates announced his passing in a post shared across social media today, September 20th. So this post was obviously from yesterday, 2 days ago. That post reads as follows. Quote, we are heartbroken to share that our drummer, Bennett Kent Stax, passed away this morning after a bout with metastatic cancer. Kent is the original heartbeat of Scream. Though we have had to continue on without him before, we have always known Kent is irreplaceable. He was one of a kind. In addition to being a truly unique drummer, Kent was also an accomplished fisherman, skilled carpenter, and avid train enthusiast. Kent also played in prominent punk and hardcore bands including the Suspects, Spitfires United, Alleged Bricks, and more throughout his life. He also branched out to other genres, playing with the Daryl Davis Band and the Old Dominion Trio. He is survived by his wife of 40 years, Andrea, daughter Jennifer, brothers Kurt, William, and Henry, and a host of bandmates, friends, and fans. If you ever saw us play or if you knew Kent, your thoughts and memories are welcome here, end quote. The sad news of his passing follows this week's reveal that the band's first new studio album since 1993, DC Special, will be out on November 10th. So, uh, unfortunately, Kent won't be around for the release of that album, but his legacy will continue on in the music, which is good. Um, so
It didn't say where the cancer was though, did it?
no, it just said metastatic cancer.
Yeah,
So
which
I
that
don't know
just
where it
means it was
was.
fast
So
spreading. So
right. So it was probably a relatively short battle. So
mhm.
our thoughts go out to the friends and family, and like we always say, fuck cancer. So
Yeah, most definitely. All right, I will kick my first one off over here from Blabbermouth. Gibson, the iconic American instrument brand, continues its multi-year partnership with Gene Simmons, international rock legend and co-founder of Kiss, to create the new Gene Simmons EB0 bass. The Gene Simmons EB-0 bass is inspired by the same bass that Gene played with Kiss in the 1970s. The new Gene Simmons EB-0 bass is a limited edition run of 100 guitars and is available worldwide at authorized Gibson custom shop dealers and, of course, via www.gibson.com. How many times do you think it's going to say EB-0 base in here?
Oh God, there's no telling. I remember that one story I read. It's like Jesus, all right, we get it.
Yeah. So if you saw Kiss perform their high octane live shows and television appearances in the 70s, you may have spotted the bass that inspired the signature model from Gene Simmons and Gibson Custom Shop. Based on Gene's heavily modified 1959 EB-0, the new Gene Simmons EB-0 bass is the first 30.5-inch scale bass from the Gibson Custom Shop and the first bass the Custom Shop has produced in quantity. The Gene Simmons EB-0 bass features a VOS finish in ebony as well as a VOS hardware throughout. In addition, Gene made several modifications to his EB-0, including refinishing it, reshaping the neck to a custom profile, replacing the pickup with a later model Gibson unit, and relocating it much closer to the bridge. Installing a custom pick guard and fingerboard with Coria nut, adding binding and changing the original tuners to Grover's. Um, the bridge was also replaced with a high mass model and can now be strung through body or as top load bridge. All of these details are faithfully represented in the new Gene Simmons EB-0 base from Gibson Custom Shop. A custom hardshell case as well as case candy developed in collaboration with Gene is also included. Then it just goes on to tell Simmons's feats throughout his music career, which I don't think we have to touch on that. I think we know
Not
Gene
really.
Simmons is a marketing fucking genius with
Yep.
he kiss lollipops to you probably kiss condoms. I don't
Oh,
know.
there are Kiss condoms.
Are there? Yeah.
There
Well,
are. Oh, there absolutely are.
so just for your love gun.
That's right. It's
Oh,
the silencer. It's a silencer for your love gun.
yeah. Hey, what's up, Dana? I knew
Dana.
they would be in. We actually mentioned at the top of the show, but since you're here, we'll say it again. Congratulations on 5 years with Metal and Test. That's pretty cool.
Hell yeah, dude.
Hey, I got one too.
Yeah, we're
my,
both.
my damn screen's just in a weird spot. So
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah, I sit up a little. I sit up a little higher.
yeah,
I play it up high.
well, I don't have my actual chair down here yet, so I'm on a
Yeah.
folding chair. I don't know how many people I've beat with this damn thing, but no, I haven't. I'm just kidding.
Foreign object. Hell yeah, dude! Congratulations on the 5 years to you
Yeah,
and to Krista.
that's pretty cool. Yeah, I need to make T-shirts like that. 5 years of metal. Have a big 5 in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be pretty cool. All
All right.
right, that was I think that was the end of the
Yeah,
story.
that was a mouth.
Like I
That
said,
was
it was just pretty much talking about all their other merchandise that they have. Like hell, I could be here tomorrow telling about all that shit. So
mm-hmm. Yeah.
yeah, I can imagine, Dana. We this is going on our third, and it's been
Yeah.
crazy with what we've done in 3 years. So
Yep.
it's just putting in the man hours in the work, and it's very difficult when you have a 9 to 5 like most of us do. So
Mm-hmm. Yep.
what you guys do over there is very well represented, I think, and very well respected. So
Hell yeah. All right, sticking over at the PRP.com, and unfortunately, the news doesn't get a whole lot better. Voyager vocalist Danny Estrin has revealed that he has been diagnosed with cancer, forcing the band to scrap their immediate touring plans. A statement issued overnight via the band's social media by Estrin reads as follows, quote, "Hi everyone, Danny here. Last week I was dealt some life-altering news. I've been diagnosed with cancer that requires immediate treatment. I am absolutely devastated that we cannot perform on our forthcoming European tour, especially after this incredible Eurovision year we've had. I am on strict doctor's orders not take this lightly, put my health first, and get this sorted so we can be on stage again as soon as possible. This has been an extremely hard decision to make, but one that everyone will hopefully understand. At this stage, the tour will be rescheduled to October 2024, and we'd love fans to keep hold of their tickets where possible, but we understand if you prefer to request a refund, you can do so from your point of sale. Voyager will perform our last show for a while at the America's Cup event in Fremantle, Western Australia this Sunday, September 24th, so come and party with us before I start treatment. In the coming weeks, I will focus on my health and family and ask that everyone please respect our privacy. I truly value and appreciate everyone's support and understanding during this time. I'm surrounded by my incredible bandmates and team who are navigating all things Voyager whilst I am out of action. Love, your fierce friend, Danny," end quote. So, it doesn't say what kind of cancer he's got, but it doesn't really matter at this point. It's just
right.
I really wish we could make some sort of headway with this shit. I mean, I know people aren't going to stop being diagnosed with it, but I wish we could find some way to, eventually just kind of find some way to slow this stuff down so people can be treated and just get back to their lives and everything. And we're not losing so many people to it at such young ages. So
Yeah.
it's
Well,
ridiculous.
you got to
So
have the money for one, and then the know how to get around
yeah.
all that. So, and then and plus, if you do get treated and cured, most of the time you have to sign a waiver saying you're not going to tell anybody that that what cured you and treated you. They're going to try to get you to say, oh, well, it was chemo and radiation because that's where they make their money.
Hmm.
But there are other options out there. This
Yeah,
thing,
of course there are. Yeah.
stem therapy, I think, is the best way to go. But that's just me. But a
Yeah.
lot of insurances don't cover that, so that's the unfortunate part.
Yeah.
Um, but if we can get other insurances on board with that, then maybe we wouldn't have as to report on much of this stuff as we do.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, it sucks. So hopefully they caught it early enough to where Danny
Yeah, treat
can treat it and
it.
fight this thing and hopefully win the battle. So
All right. Well, over to metal injection. Excuse me. Spotify has just rolled out their brand new showcase feature in the event you'd like to make CEO Daniel Eck even richer. Spotify showcase features feature charges are showcase features charges artists to promote their music as a paid banner advertisement at the top of Spotify's home to what they're calling likely listeners across Spotify. Of course, Spotify positions the homepage as the most visited place on Spotify, where millions of listeners come to decide what to listen to, resulting in billions of streams each day. And then mention people who see a showcase are 6 times more likely to stream the promoted release. That last phrase is a link to a video that simply repeats the information and doesn't actually dive into what any of the stats mean or how helpful this can actually be for the artist. So, how is this bleeding artist dry? Because getting your music featured on Showcase starts at $100 and is priced on a cost per click basis, starting at 40 cents. So one click on your music costs you 40 cents, and you'll make roughly 0.005 cents in royalties per listen. I'm sure you're seeing how this math absolutely does not work in your favor. Basically, you need every single person that clicks on your ad to stream your brand new album or single way more times than they're probably going to in order for you to turn a profit. Spotify further points out in their press release that artists must have at least 1,000 streams over the past 28 days in at least one of the available target markets to be eligible to use Showcase, and the artist team's billing country must be set to the U.S. What the fuck? My cynicism, sorry, over this new feature stems from a lot of stories we've run in the past. For starters, there were over 100,000 tracks uploaded to Spotify every single day back in October 2022, a number that has since grown, and most songs are going unplayed anyway. So the room is only getting more crowded. Then there's the fact that almost no DIY artist is making anywhere close to a reasonable amount of money from their music, and it's only getting worse. Doubly so, as Spotify sees that there's more competition and offers even lower royalties for promotions. So yeah, just another stab at the freaking talent, man.
hmm
I have Spotify, and I do, and I
like I
pay
say,
for
I
it.
do. I pay for it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not that to me, like to me, like and you've seen, we buy albums and CDs and all this merch from these guys, and that's because that's how they make their money.
Mhm.
Um, oh, there's your Aunt Amy.
Yeah, I saw her. I was gonna give her a shout out once we were done talking about the story. So aloha to Amy out there in Hawaii, and Dana said that the boss is on. So
Oh,
so
there she
there's
is.
Krista.
Hey,
How you doing, Krista? We've
congrats to
already
you guys again. So
yeah, we've already told Dana. We'll tell you too. Congratulations on the 5-year anniversary. So
Krista puts in a lot of work with this thing too, man.
she
All the
does.
all the this day and events I think come from her. So
Hmm.
and I can tell you right now that's something that takes some digging sometimes. Like
It does.
we were doing that for the first year or so, and then we kind of backed out of because I mean the history doesn't change much.
Yeah.
Uh, so we kind of backed out of that for our part anyway. But
Hmm.
yeah, there's still it's still a needed it's still a needed thing. I think
Sure.
we just decided that that was kind of redundant on our end because we don't
Yeah.
dig in as deep as they do. So they come out with some albums that I'm like, oh, I ain't never even heard of that. So
Yeah, that's true.
so
That's true.
so, so it's pretty cool. And then we kind of had to condense our research and because it was taking up a lot of time. So
Yeah.
and it was interfering with the personal lives, the wives and whatnot.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah.
so,
Well, and
so
we did decide to kind of move on from the history segment also because I mean we didn't want to have we didn't want
yeah,
to have the format stagnate after going into
right,
our third year like we had. We decided to do things a little different. We added the theme of the week,
yeah,
which is I mean for my money, the building the theme of the week playlist has been a little more fun.
oh yeah, most
So
definitely.
yeah, so it's been nice.
All right, so yeah, so again, Spotify is just digging the knife deeper into the artist's back with the
Hmm.
story there. So
Yeah.
I mean, I wish there was an alternative besides. But the thing is, like, I get pissed because I just bought a new car, right? You can't buy a new car with a CD player in it. Like that kind of pisses me. I want like my thing is at least give me an option.
Right.
I'm fine. I'm fine with streaming sometimes, but I at least want the option. Sometimes I just want to throw a disc in and listen.
Hmm.
I mean, that was the whole purpose of, we grew up in different times and that's what we did. We got an album or we got a CD or a cassette. And I mean, hell, if it was a cassette, you had to listen through it because, I mean,
Hmm.
or you fast forward and rewinding like 50 times trying to,
Yeah, there were no
trying to
yeah
find that sweet spot.
yeah,
Uh,
definitely no timestamps on a cassette.
yeah, no, so it was definitely, definitely has been worse times. So,
No,
but
yeah.
yeah, I mean, I just like the thing, I just like the option. You know what I'm saying? I don't, I wish they would at least give you the option, put a CD player in it. I'm like, hell, you did it for 30 fucking years. What's the difference now? It's like,
Right, yeah. That's true. That's true.
but whatever.
Yeah. All right. Staying over at the PRP, Asking Alexandria vocalist Danny Worsnop has commented on an injury sustained by an individual amid the group's show last night, September 19th, at the Masonic Auditorium in Cleveland, Ohio. Unfortunately, a security guard fell while catching crowd surfers over the barricade and suffered 5 broken ribs and a collapsed lung. Worsnop
Damn.
said in a post on social media, quote, regrettably, we had an injury at the show last night. Despite the heads up that you guys crowd surf a lot, the venue was a little unprepared and understaffed. During Let Go, one of the 2 security guards assigned to the barricade fell while catching a fan, breaking 5 ribs and suffering a collapsed lung. We stopped the show and waited for an ambulance to come as 2 amazing EMT fans quickly jumped over from the crowd to provide medical assistance. Thank you to them and the whole crowd for responding quickly and efficiently and getting out of the way so he could be safely removed from the venue and on his way to the hospital. It's always hard to see someone get hurt at a show, and we'll be checking on his status over the coming days, wishing him a full and fast recovery. End quote. So, yeah, definitely hope that guy gets back on his feet pretty quick. But man, I've never had a broken rib, let alone 5. Holy shit! And I've never had a
Yeah.
collapsed lung either. I just can't even imagine. But
Yeah,
it's one of
that's
those. It's one of those things, man. I mean, we've been to I don't know how many shows at all different size, venues, amphitheaters, hockey stadiums, little clubs,
mhm.
indoors, outdoors, doesn't matter. I mean, you gotta realize what kind of show you're putting on and what to expect, and you
Mhm.
gotta be prepared, man. These places are like, no moshing allowed. Then you might as well not have heavy metal concerts in every place
Right.
because there's gonna be moshing and there's
Yep.
gonna be crowd surfing. And when you got
Yep.
crowd surfers, man, you gotta have guys at the front who are paying
Mhm.
attention. And like I said in the story, they only had 2. That's because you basically have to have 2 people catching every crowd surfer.
Yeah.
You really
Probably,
do.
I think you need at least four. I mean,
You
just to
should have
be
at least 4.
at least.
Yeah, you should have at least
Depending
4.
on the venue. Of course, if you're like Bridgestone or something, you probably need about 12 or 15. So,
Right.
uh,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's crazy.
So yeah, hopefully that dude recovers pretty quick. But yeah,
Yeah,
he won't be catching any crowd surfers for a minute. So
yeah, that's crazy though. But I mean, it's like you just said, like you can't put that stuff out there saying no moshing or no circle pits and all this stuff, and then you know like we seen that in Chattanooga.
Mm-hmm.
Said that, and then Death Angel out there 3 songs in going, "Where's my damn circle pit?"
Yeah.
You see the damn security going, "Shit."
Yep.
So,
God, yeah, damn it.
I
Shut
was
up,
like,
Mark.
well, yeah, you knew it was coming. Like
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
it's like you don't follow these bands, but you book them. Like, you
Right.
want to do a little research before you get a book of venue.
Yeah. I get, and it's not that I don't it's not that I don't get what the venues are doing. I mean, I get
Mhm.
it, but at the same time, I mean, you gotta you gotta pick your battles. I mean,
Yeah,
you gotta know what you're asking for and what you're putting your venue in for. I mean, you got Death Angel, Exodus, and Testament. You expect people not to start mosh
right.
shit.
Yeah,
I mean, uh, so I mean, that was one of the funniest signs I've ever seen in a venue.
yeah.
Walking into a thrash metal concert, no moshing allowed. I'm like,
It's like, damn, y'all.
Dana, you're right. It's about insurance and liability. Like I said, I
Yeah,
get what they're trying to do. I totally get what they're trying to do, but you
yeah.
know,
But it doesn't help them when you book that band. And the band's like, where they at? Where you at?
mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah,
let's get this shit going, and like everybody starts doing it. So then they don't give a shit about their insurance and
no, yeah, they
liability.
don't. And I
So,
mean, you and I make jokes all the time about Rob Flynn and Machine Head
oh
just
yeah,
constantly calling for circle
circle.
pits, circle pit. And so I mean, of course, when Rob asks, the people deliver. So
Yeah, that's right. So,
they do.
all right, next one here is over at Metal Hammer. Corey Taylor has said that lack of songwriting credit in Slipknot and Stone Sour partially inspired his solo career. Quote, one of the reasons why I was very adamant about starting my solo thing is that there was a weird misconception around who was writing what for what band. The frontman said in an interview with Paste. Maybe this is where my ego comes into play, he continued, but I felt like I wasn't getting the credit for the things I was actually writing. With Stone Sour, it was fairly obvious, but there were a lot of songs that I wrote that people thought, oh, guitarist Jim Root or Josh Rand wrote. That wasn't the case at all. And then with Slipknot, there were a lot of stuff that either wouldn't have been written without me, or that I wrote that other people gave themselves credit for. As someone who takes great pride in sitting down and creating something from nothing, just from my imagination, that's stuck in my craw. I've never shied away from giving credit to the people who deserve it. I've never taken credit for anything I didn't do, and I've always been the first to shine the spotlight on anybody else. I don't necessarily get that in return, end quote. Taylor co-founded Stone Sour in 92 before disbanding it in 97 when he joined Slipknot. The band was reactivated as a side project in 2000 and placed an indefinite hiatus in 2020. Here he is quoting again, it's not that I don't miss some of the guys in Stone Sour. I still talk to them, Taylor told Rockin' Antenna in 2023. But at this stage, I refuse to compromise my vision and my art because of certain people's hindrances. And that's all I'll say, end quote. Taylor is currently promoting his second solo album, CMF2. It got an 8 out of 10 review at Metal Hammer. Called it a party album, pure and simple. Corey Taylor and his band have built upon the strengths of his predecessor's 2020's CMFT and refined their core sound into something distinct, forceful, and utterly exhilarating, concluded writer Joe Daly. So,
I still haven't listened to his second solo album yet. I haven't listened to it yet.
so this is the thing, like with Corey Taylor, I think the album's got some. It's Slipknot and Stone Sour mashed together, pretty much, is what it sounds like. I mean, because you're going to get some of the heavy Slipknot type vocals, and then you're going to get some of the more mellow Stone Sour stuff.
Sure.
So I think he kind of plays to both sides, and it's good for him because he couldn't do one or the other. In the other, well, he tried in Stone Sour. I'll give him that because I know when Get Inside come out, I was like, oh, this is Slipknot, and then I was like, oh no, it's Stone Sour. Like what the fuck? So he did try to get a little heavier with Stone Sour in the beginning, but then he kind of backed up because people were confusing him. Rightfully so. I mean, but still, you think he kind of backed off too much with Stone Sour.
And Stone Sour kind of dribbled into Slipknot there for a minute too. So
yeah. That's what I was saying. Like with even the Hydrograd album had a lot of Slipknot sounds to it. So,
yeah, and did.
I think that was their last album, if I'm not mistaken. So.
I think you're right. Yeah, I think so. The one that had like song 3 on it and everything.
Yeah,
I do believe that was it. Yeah. Yeah. So I'll get around to listening to his new album eventually, but I'm not like super duper in a hurry to be completely
Yeah, I
honest.
mean, like
I'll
I
get
said, to be fair, it's okay. I mean, it's
Is it
I
better? Is
mean,
it better than the first one? Because I wasn't really
I
super
think
impressed
so.
with it.
I think it is better than the first one.
Okay.
So
All right.
it's like I said, uh, it's a little more Stone Sour Slipknotish than it was. Kind of you know, Corey playing around with some rap stuff and everything in that first
Yeah.
one. So I don't think he didn't do a lot of that in this one. So
Yeah, he definitely. Well, I mean, he did say that when CMFT came out, that
mhm.
he's like, this is not a heavy metal album.
Right.
So he was just like sowing some musical oats, getting
Hmm.
out, stretching his legs, and all that.
And I would say that.
All those
Yeah,
cliches and all that. So,
yeah. And I say
you know,
that's fair. It's definitely more of a hard rock album. It's not
okay,
So if you're going into it thinking you're going to get unseen it or something, you're not. I mean,
right, yeah,
I mean, you are going to get some heavy stuff, but it's not. It's more on the mellower side, I think.
okay,
So
all right.
um,
Yeah, like I say, I'll get around to it eventually.
yeah,
But
it's not. And like I said, it's not bad, but
yeah, well, that's good. I mean, and that's cool for Corey to be able to do that stuff too. I'm
well,
sure. I'm
yeah,
sure.
yeah.
I'm sure every artist kind of like hopes that their career goes well enough that they can kind of, pick one of these little projects and kind of go off and kind of do their own thing. So, still kudos to him for being able to do that. So, all right, over the PRP for one more. In an ill-advised move, a fan brought a dog into the audience of Motionless in White's set of the Scranton Apocalypse Fest this past Saturday, September 16th. Footage of the dog, which was not equipped with hearing protection, being paraded around on the shoulders of an audience member amid the gold-certified industrial metalcore band's hometown set, has drawn a mixed reaction on social media. Motionless in White drummer Vinnie Morrow spoke out against the move, offering, "Seeing the dog in the pit at our Scranton show really bummed me out, and I want to go on record to say unless your dog is literally deaf and blind and somehow also loves to be held in the air for 3 hours, do not bring them to a show, headphones or not." And then there's a couple other tweets are they still called tweets since it's called X now? I don't know.
I don't know. It's
I don't know.
X's.
Yeah, it's X's. I have no idea. And
Um,
then there's a couple videos, that people who were in the crowd kind of embedded and stuff like that. I mean, and I'll say the dog doesn't look like he's having like a bad time necessarily. Like his ears aren't
mhm.
pinned back or anything, and I can't tell if he's tucked tail because, like I say, he's on the shoulders of his owner.
Right.
But I mean, people are petting him left and right and all this other stuff. So I mean, he doesn't exactly look like he's having a bad time, but I do kind of, I will say, I do kind of agree with the drummer. I mean, you got to realize, I mean, how much more sensitive a dog's hearing is than ours. So
Right.
you know,
Um,
not to say that if I wasn't watching a, not to say that if I wasn't watching a show and all of a sudden I was like, oh, a puppy, I'd be like, so. But yeah, Amy, you're
Yeah,
right.
but you
That
never
dog.
know how a dog's going to act in that kind of environment either. So
That's
you're
true
you're
too. So
putting you're putting yourself in a liability situation
yeah, you really
in
are.
its own right because dogs have a strong sense of character.
Hmm.
So I mean, there could be somebody in that crowd that dog sees unfit as a human being and bite his ass, and
Yeah,
then
could have,
then
could
you're
have.
in trouble.
Yeah, could have
So
clamped down on somebody's hand, something like that. Yeah,
yeah,
and of
it's just
course,
too,
and of course,
too many scenarios. I mean,
yeah, and of course, I mean, the dude could have accidentally dropped him, and he could have gotten stepped on. So I mean,
yeah,
there's a
exactly.
lot of there's a lot of stuff that could have happened. I mean, his damage to his hearing aside, I mean, there is a lot of stuff that could have happened. So yeah, it could scare him. He could go
Yeah.
deaf. Yes, I mean,
I mean, you see what they do during fireworks most of the time. So I mean,
right? Yeah,
and
yeah.
there's pyros and stuff at a lot of these
Mhm.
concerts. So
It's actually kind of weird because it was a festival and it was outside, but still kind of like, I
mhm.
still kind of wonder how the hell the guy pulled it off.
Yeah, well, I
How
mean,
the
it's an
hell?
emotional support animal. You can take them any fucking where. So
Well, that's
uh,
the thing though, is I mean, I'm like I say, I'm looking at the videos, a couple of these videos that are embedded in the. Could you hear that by the way?
what's that?
I just played the video. I heard it in. Could you hear that?
So there's something with StreamYard then probably. If you're able, because that's the same way on mine. If I play something you can't hear it, then
Well, actually, I mean, the dog does have like a vest on, but I can't tell if he's got like a service animal.
right.
I can't tell if he's got any of those service animal patches on because the lighting isn't great because it's dark in
Mm,
the crowd. But I don't know. So he may that dude may have tried to pull that service animal shit, and it may have worked. But
yeah,
I don't know. It's just
I
one of
don't,
those
I
things.
don't like that.
I
It's
wouldn't
like,
have done that. You know.
I'm kind of like I don't mind you having a service animal, but there's some places you don't need to be taking a dog into. I mean, I don't like them in grocery stores. For one, you're in a food section and you got a dog in there. You piss on something, then then it's over with. So,
Yeah.
uh,
I mean, I have seen that, but it definitely is. It definitely is possible. But
but to
let's see
each his
that's
own.
but well, to each their own. That's for sure. But I mean, at the same time, if you're if you're going to if you're going to especially a heavy metal concert, I mean, concerts in general, but a heavy
Right.
metal concert, you are under no delusions that it's not going to be loud. It's not going to be
Yeah.
crowded. It's
It's
not
not
going to
gonna get
be.
crazy.
It's not going to be. There's not going to be lighting effects and pyro and all that shit. There's so and don't get me wrong. I know there's a lot of people out there who have like PTSD and stuff like that. I'm not
Mhm.
trying to downplay any of that
Right.
shit.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying because I mean I
You
know
just
there's a
gotta.
lot of people that suffer from that. But like I'm saying, if you're going to a concert that's loud, that's bright, that's crowded, then you know what's going to be going on.
First off, if you're suffering from PTSD from stuff like that, why are you at the concert?
That's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm
So,
trying to say. Not trying to call out anybody who's suffering from PTSD, but I mean, if lights and sounds and crowds and
mm,
everything, then don't do that to yourself. Is what I'm saying. Don't do that
exactly.
to
Yeah. You
yourself.
got to take care of yourself. So.
Yeah, don't do that to
Uh,
yourself.
and people can have PTSD for other, a lot
Oh,
of different
absolutely.
reasons. So
Yeah.
we're not just talking about war and stuff like that. Because my wife
Right.
had it from a car accident.
Right.
She wouldn't drive for a long time because of that. So she still gets freaked out sometimes and
Hmm.
says, "Hey, I got to pull over." I'm like, okay, so I mean, you just got to,
Yeah.
you got to be there to support them. So,
Yeah.
but
Definitely.
yeah,
Definitely all sorts of triggers for sure.
oh yeah, yeah, for sure. There's so many we probably couldn't count them on the show for the next 2 hours, but
Oh no, probably not.
all right. Well, my last one is a story and then a follow up, and it's all about the
Hmm.
same story. So it's over from Metal Sucks, both parts here. Um, well, yeah. So
That's
Amy
true.
is correct.
That's true.
She's in a service dog and an emotional support are two different things. You're right. A
Well,
service
I
dog
mean,
is for a blind person or whatever, deaf, blind,
yeah.
whatever they could use them for.
Well,
But
I tell you one thing. Judging, like I say, judging by the videos that I saw, and of course, I don't know this dude from Adam, so I don't know. But judging from what I saw, this dude can hear and this dude can see. So
yeah,
I don't think he needed a service dog.
yeah. I think he was just trying to
So
get a social media
yeah, I don't know.
call out or something, which is crazy that people do that these days. They'll do anything to get on the damn news.
Yeah.
All
So
right, like I said, this was a kind of a two-parter from over at Metal Sucks. I kind of shared this with you earlier, but then I found an update a little bit later after I shared it with you. So,
okay, all right.
so there's kind of a two-parter here. I guess you kind of got a band's point of view and then the singer's point of view. So,
Mm-hmm.
so here we go. In an unexpected twist that maybe zero people saw coming, Die Art is Murder announced just moments ago that their longtime vocalist Chris McMahon had been kicked out of the band. According to an Instagram post on Die Art is Murder's official page, the lineup change is exactly why their new album Godlike was pushed back a week. They needed to re-record his parts with a new, currently unnamed vocalist. Now you may recall that the band and McMahon himself personally came under fire for the now ex-frontman's anti-trans commentary online. For those that don't remember, McMahon reposted some anti-trans content originally posted by far-right provocator Matt Walsh. In it, a woman is asking her toddler if she's a boy or girl, to which the child says both. The mother then accepts that answer and says, okay, you're both. The shit hit the fan, however, when McMahon's caption on the post contained a comment where he suggested that the woman in the video be burned to death. So naturally, that got reported to Instagram and was taken down since it violates their policies. That excuse me, that led to McMahon throwing a temper tantrum and crying that he was going to quit social media and open an OnlyFans so he could spew his hateful bullshit. Um, in response, the rest of the band posted a pretty meek statement that didn't directly call out McMahon's actions. Then, shortly after they announced that the album was being pushed back a week. At the time, we had no idea why, but now we do. According to the band, McMahon's online outburst wasn't the only reason why he was kicked out of the band, but rather the straw that broke the camel's back, as he allegedly threatened to destroy the band unless they kept
Capitulated.
capitulate. There you go. To various ideologies that he holds. Honestly, it's all a wild situation to say the least. To not only release a new album but secretly replace the vocalist fans expected to be here on it because the original vocalist held some discussing views. That's a whole new level of ballsy. For clarification's sake, and to let the band explain what happened on their own words, here is their statement. Quote, we have some important news regarding Godlight that we want to share with you. Our new album, Godlike, is now available worldwide digitally with an unforeseen change. Chris McMahon is no longer part of Thy Art is Murder and does not feature on the record. We understand this may come as a surprise, and we want to assure you that this decision was made to preserve the band's integrity and direction. We understand that this may come as a surprise, and we want to assure you that this decision was made to preserve the band's integrity and direction. What transpired over the past month was not the cause of the action, but just another symptom of the drawn out breakdown in this character and judgment, the straw that broke the camel's back, if you will. Long story short, the fallout has been immense, and we were lobbed in with threats to destroy the artist's murder from the inside if we did not. What was it again?
Capitulate.
Capitulate. There you go. To various ideologies that he holds. Everyone has their own right to free speech and to seek their truth. They are also free to receive the consequences that come with it. Well, we all appreciate your support and respect for our privacy during this challenging time. As we move forward, we are excited to introduce you to a new vocalist who finished re-recording vocals on the new album earlier this week, and will be joining us for the Godlike European tour with Whitechapel Fit for an Autopsy and Spite, which kicks off in a few days. Our focus remains on delivering powerful music and unforgettable performances to our dedicated fans. We're grateful for your understanding and continued support as we embark on this new chapter together. With gratitude, The Art is Murder. Now, the follow-up, in a turn of events that could really only happen in today's ridiculously social media obsessed society, it turns out Thy Art is Murder didn't just fire ex-vocalist Chris McMahon and replace his vocals on the album that they just released today, Godlike. No, they also let him find out he was headed for the unemployment line the same way we all did through their social media statement. Well, as expected, that's not sitting well with McMahon. Moments ago, he ousted anti-trans comments spewing vocalist made a post on Instagram. I thought he quit socials, saying he only found out just then. I just woke up and saw the news. Yes, this is how I find out. And yes, it's not the whole story. I'll be going live tomorrow at 5 p.m. Sydney, Australia time. Burn everyone to death. Oh, man, that's pretty way to take it professionally, my guy. That list bit there was a super fucking classy nod to the comment that the band said was the straw that broke the camel's back. The Cliff Note versions is that McMahon reposted some anti-trans content by far-right provocator Matt Walsh, and then commented that the supporter of the mother be burned to death. Just kind of repeating that, I guess. And let's see, that kind of led to the comments being taken down. Of course, we talked about that already. Earlier today, the band announced that McMahon was out of the band and that he removed the parts from the new album, and new vocalists that re-recorded the parts, which just has to sting a little bit. In their statement, they said that was a long time coming, and that McMahon allegedly threatened to blow up the band if he didn't support his extreme rhetoric. This shit ain't over by a long shot, he says. We'll have to follow up on McMahon's Instagram live post, which will take place about 3 a.m. Eastern time, but it's sure to be a thing. So if you're up at 3 a.m. Or in the United States Eastern time zone, then he's going live to tell his side, I guess. But
yeah,
whatever. Sounds like sounds like a good move on their part. I mean, to save face for the band, of course. I mean, you don't want for one, I'll look at it this way. I don't agree with a lot of that stuff, but you're not my fucking kid. So you want to teach your kids that shit, that's on you. That's I'm not going to go around and tell you how to raise your fucking kids. I don't expect you to tell me how to raise mine.
Right.
So,
I still, yeah, definitely kind of shitty that they didn't tell him in person, because I
yeah,
mean
yeah.
they could
Let's
have,
have a phone or something, Yeah.
yeah,
So,
a lot of people, they could have, got together and say, hey, man, that's it, that's enough, man,
yeah.
you're done. So, it's kind of a crappy way of doing it, but I mean, and I think that McMahon is entitled to his own opinions,
Right.
but I don't think, I don't think saying that people deserve to be burned alive is the way to go about doing it. Definitely. So I mean,
Well, no, I
I
mean,
don't like when people are vilified for an opinion. Now,
yeah,
granted, like I just said, the way he went about expressing his opinion is a little over the top, and that's a little bit much. You don't wish death on anyone,
right.
regardless
Which,
regardless of whether you agree or disagree with somebody or not. But at the same time, it's kind of like the Alice Cooper thing with that makeup company.
right,
Kind of the same thing. You know, Alice is entitled to his own opinion. See, Chris McMahon is entitled to his own opinion. Everyone's got an opinion about this particular issue, that
mm,
the whole transgender thing. Everyone's got an opinion on it. You have one, I have, everyone's got one. And I think everyone should be allowed to have their opinion. I think it's bullshit that, you know, of course, like the band said, this wasn't the reason, but it was the final reason, and that's it. So, like you said, it makes sense. It's understandable, because I mean, if they kept on, it's kind of like the whole Ronnie Radke thing. The same thing.
oh god,
That dude is gonna be the end of that band, unless the band does something about him.
yeah,
But
they got
whether
to get
it's
control,
yeah,
man.
whether it's Ronnie Radke or whether it's Chris McMahon or whatever, they're entitled to their own opinions, but I don't think people should like lose their jobs
I
or
think the
or
difference,
stuff like that, just because they have an opinion. I
right?
don't I don't agree with the fact that makeup company decided to sever ties with Alice
Well,
Cooper
I was
just
going to say,
just because of his opinion.
yeah,
I don't think that's fair.
I was going to say that's the difference is because Alice was asked the question.
Well, that's true.
He didn't just comment out of the blue
Right.
about the shit. Somebody fucking asked him that.
Yeah,
If you
so
didn't
that's
want to know
that's
how he felt about it, then don't fucking ask him. I mean,
right. Yeah.
we're
Yeah,
not all
because
going
in
to agree on everything. That's why you
right.
have a fucking dumbass left and a dumbass right that can't
Mhm.
fucking tie their goddamn shoes together. So,
That's true. Yeah. Yeah, so it's you're right. It's a
common sense is out the fucking window, man. It's like
it pretty
nobody,
much it pretty much
yeah,
is.
that shit
But
died years ago. So,
yeah, and and you are right. It does doubly suck when in an interview setting, when somebody is asked, "What do you think about X?" and then they give an answer, and then oh my God, he gave an answer.
yeah.
It's and so I
But
mean
and
we don't need to
and
just I don't want to get into beating
right,
that to
right.
death, because we already addressed
But it's
that. But
crazy. I mean, if you want to look at how crazy it is, just look at the shit that they're putting on Russell Brand right now. I don't know if y'all are familiar with who he is, but he was an actor and
oh, I
he's
know
in.
who. Yeah, I know who he is.
Yeah,
But
I'm just saying the people out there may
yeah,
not know,
yeah,
but
I know who he is. Yeah, some people
but he
may
was
not.
in Forgetting Sarah Marshall was probably one of his
Hmm.
biggest movies, and then Get
Get
Him to the
him, get
Greek.
him, and he played the same character in Get Him to the Greek.
Yeah,
So
but there was they try to like because he's over there. And like a lot of shit, I follow him on YouTube, and a lot of shit he says is true. I mean, he'll tell you straight up. He's like, I'm in England. I don't give a fuck. I don't have no ties. I'm just telling you the truth. This is what I found, you know. And like he's getting too far into it now that they're trying to like cancel him because they don't. He's getting too many followers, and he's getting too close to some shit that he probably shouldn't be. So they're trying to cancel him, and they're bringing up fucking videos from 11 years ago with Catherine McPhee. And Catherine McPhee's already went online saying, "Don't bring me in this shit." That was years ago, and it was just fucking harmless. She even said it was harmless. So I don't know where they're going to go with it now. They're probably going to find something else to fucking stick him. But this is the kind of shit that pisses me off. We're in a society where people just can't mind their own fucking business. Like
yeah,
this, like you don't want to hear it because it's true. It's like I've said this 1,000 times. You don't go to the doctor at 375 pounds, and he said, "Hey, you need to lose weight." Oh, he just called me fat. I ain't going to him no more, motherfucker. He's telling you for your health
Mhm.
to lose the weight. Like
Yeah.
it's it's kind of like the way I look at that stuff. It's like, oh well, you can't, they don't need to do this. They don't. That guy is across the pond in London, looking in on this shit and telling you what's going on because you're not fucking seeing it. You're in the
Mhm.
middle of the shit, not seeing it.
Right.
So that's the kind of thing that pisses me off. Is like you're trying to silence the wrong people. We in this country right now need more of a justice system. And I've seen a video recently where one of the guy going, "There's not two different justices." Well, fucking shit, man. If there wasn't, there'd be half you fuckers in politics would be in fucking jail.
Yeah. I would take the over on that.
Yeah. So, but different different show there. But
Yeah, definitely a
it
different
should
show. Yeah, we don't want to get off,
be
but it's
with
just
with like I said, the media just asking somebody a fucking question, and then, oh well, what do you think about the fucking Holocaust? And then you come out and say some shit they didn't like, and they're gonna blow you up for it. Like, well, what the fuck did you ask me for? It's like,
mhm.
and I'm gonna post this because let me tell you something. Paul Harvey is a mastermind before his time. If you've
Yeah.
never heard of Paul Harvey thing, look it up on YouTube. There's some Paul Harvey stuff on there. He's told stories, man, that stuck with me through my life. I still remember the Clint Eastwood story. Like Clint Eastwood's a legit tough motherfucker, man. like he, there was a helicopter went down or something. There was like him and two other guys in it, and he was the only one. He swam like 40 fucking miles to a shore to, over a day and a half period or something. I don't know. It was something crazy. But he actually swam to the shore or whatever, and he's like, and at the end he was telling, "Oh, it's Clint Eastwood." I'm like, what the fuck? So this guy's playing, he's playing his shit for real.
Yeah. Hell,
But yeah,
Clint Eastwood's in his 90s. I still wouldn't mess with him.
oh hell no,
I still wouldn't mess with
I
him.
love Clint, man. Like,
Yeah.
he's a great actor and great director too. So.
Yeah.
But anyway, but yeah, Paul Harvey's definitely a good source of going back. Like a lot of stuff he said back then, you're like looking at now, going, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
Because it's like coming to fruition, and it was like, wow, like I mean, we talked about George Carlin on here. Some of the shit he talked about, 20 fucking years ago. We're sitting like, yeah, we're in the middle of that shit now.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, where you at when
It's
we need you,
true.
George? Damn.
It's true.
But,
Yeah, Kayla and Angela and I were actually talking about him the other day. I can't remember how we got on the conversation, but we started talking about him and like the field day that he could be having right now.
dude,
It'd be
he'd have
unreal.
6 fucking specials on Netflix right now.
Yeah, he would actually. He probably would. But I just wish the news could be the news again.
Well, yeah, because
Here's what here's what here's what happened. This happened. These were the people involved. This was the outcome of it.
well,
Done.
well,
Next story. Move
the thing
on.
thing is we all have social media and stuff now, and we can research this stuff on our own. And so I don't know why you would tell us bullshit. That's what I don't get. But um, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, Paul Harvey tell I didn't care if he got offended. Yeah, I mean, like I said, George Carlin was kind of the same way with his comedy. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
he was.
and I guess you kind of put Dave Chappelle into that because I mean he talks about everybody. If you get
Yeah,
offended,
Dave.
don't fucking well. So
Yeah,
I mean,
I guess I would say Dave Chappelle's probably. I mean, without like researching it and thinking about it too much, but right off the top of my head, I'd probably say Dave Chappelle is probably like today's George Carlin, kind of that in that same vein of just
mhm.
calling everybody out on all their bullshit.
Right,
Consequences be damned, because he doesn't care, and he shouldn't.
yeah. Well, he makes enough money. He don't have to worry about his shit. So.
No, yeah, I'm rich, bitch. Yeah.
Yeah. I think the cool thing was like they were talking about a while back. They were talking about building. He got wind of somebody wanting to try to buy some land next to his in Ohio,
Mhm.
and they were wanting to put like a megaplex or something over there. He said, "Bullshit!" He went and bought the fucking land.
Yeah, he
So
did. Yeah,
he's like, "Fuck
that
that!"
was awesome. Yeah, that was cool as hell. Yeah,
He's like, "You can build shit next to me." So.
yeah, I like that. Yeah, not in my
All right.
backyard. Yeah.
Yeah, so
All right, I'm
pick,
moving over. I'm moving over to metal injection for my last story.
still got one more.
Um,
Sorry. I didn't know
Yeah, I
you
still
had
got
more.
one more. No, no problem. No problem. Legendary producer and guitarist Taylor Young is sadly facing eviction of his studio and home. According to a GoFundMe launched to help with relocation costs, Young and his wife Kyla are being forced out after 17 years. Donate to the GoFundMe here, hyperlink in the story. And remember, landlords are not your friends, never have been, never will be.
Mhm.
Quote, last week, Taylor Young of God's Hate, Twitching Tongues, and his wife Kyla were unexpectedly giving 60 days notice to vacate their home/studio of 17 plus years, also known as The Pit. The Pit has been pivotal to California's entire hardcore punk metal ecosystem, recording and mixing bands such as Drain, Military Gun, Mind Force, Tsunami, Rotting Out, Twitching Tongues, God Hate, Suicide Silence, and many more. After consistently recording and housing hardcore punk and metal bands from all over the world since 2011, now they will have to find and rebuild a new space from scratch, losing all income until a new space is complete. This cause means a lot to both of us. Thank you for reading. Link in bio. Please consider donating and sharing. Special Whatnot benefit stream for the Pit this Friday. End quote. So that kind of sucks for him, and it's kind of,
I'm kind of glad you did that story because I had it in the uh, headline thing, but
yeah,
I was kind of wanting to dig into it more, so I'm kind of glad you did. So
yeah. So it sucks. I hate it. I mean, the people who know, the people who know, the people who
mhm.
have been there. It's just kind of one of those iconic places. People
Yeah,
people
exactly.
know and respect, and will help put out quality music, and it's just
Mhm. Well, I mean,
I
it's
don't.
just like we talked about with the cat house with Ricky Ratlin. You're always going to
Hmm.
link those together because it was a
Yeah,
historic place. So
yeah. So I mean, I kind of like to hear what the reasoning is for the eviction. I
mhm.
mean, if they haven't been paying their bills, that's one thing, but they've lived and worked there for 17 years. I have a hard time believing that they
They
don't,
wouldn't pay.
especially
Yeah,
if they're actively recording and producing and putting out music. I have a hard
true.
time believing that they don't have an income stream, that they wouldn't be paying their bills. So I'd be interested to hear what the reasoning
Oh,
is for the eviction.
I
So
guarantee you they're trying to run them off. Their lease was up, and they're trying to run them out so they can get more money out of the damn property. I guarantee that's what it
probably,
is.
yeah, it probably is.
It's we can just sell this off for half, $1 million damn dollars, and not have to worry about the rent every damn, you know, month or whatever. Which
Probably.
I hate that too because I think in that situation, if whoever you sold it to, you could just put that in a clause saying, hey, these are people that's been here for 17 years. Just make sure keep them rented out. So
Yeah, they're good tenants, and
right, yeah, it's
they
like.
yeah they're yeah.
I
I don't
mean,
know. I
who
mean,
who in
it's
the hell
just
wouldn't want to? Who in the hell wouldn't want to already have ready-made income when you buy a property? I mean,
it's true.
you've been there 17 years. You're probably not going anywhere now. I mean,
Yeah,
uh, you know,
unless like you
especially with the cost of housing. I mean,
yeah, unless like you said, they sold it to a goddamn commercial developer who's
well,
just gonna
yeah,
bulldoze it and
that's what they're going to do.
build
That's what
something
they're going to
stupid that nobody needs.
do. Yeah, building $400,000 townhouses like they're doing across the street, which is stupid. Uh,
Right.
yeah. But let me tell you something. If I'm paying $400,000 for something, I better not hear you hit my damn wall. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
That's crazy as hell. I seen them building that over there. I'm like, really? For
Yeah.
townhouses? Y'all are
Oh yeah.
stupid. I
I
hope
know.
they
I,
sit
I
there. I hope they fucking sit there empty. Like,
They won't. I would like for that to happen too, but they won't.
mm,
Just like all that stuff they're building between Columbia and Spring Hill, right there in Neapolis,
yeah,
all the those apartments, that neighborhood, and then right there before you, when you get up the hill, when you pass the church there on the right, going through that light,
yeah.
they're clearing out that lot right there before the
The
gas
crazy,
station for
the crazy
another
thing,
neighborhood.
the crazy thing is you're building that. They're building that because they think that that battery company is going to bring all these people in to work there. And I'm just like, you do know, like probably 60% of that workforce is going to come local. They are,
Probably
and half of these
probably
motherfuckers
more.
already have a house. So
Probably more than
yeah.
that.
Well, I'm just saying, like
Yeah.
even at 60%, you're not going to fill up, all these damn houses you're building.
No,
And hell, I think they're building 500 homes over here across from the school down the
they
road. So
are.
it's
Well,
fucking
I don't.
stupid.
Well, I don't think it's quite that many, but I do know that those houses that they're building start at $500,000, which is ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm talking about the ones down from like Central, that light right there by Central. There's like they did where the poppy field used to be. They cleared all that shit off.
Oh,
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. They're supposed to have
oh,
500 homes going in right
I
there.
didn't know that. Okay,
Yeah,
that's another new neighborhood I didn't know.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I thought you were talking about the ones up the street from the
Oh yeah,
elementary
those
school
two.
there.
But
Yeah, but
I don't think it's going to be too many, but because they might get 30 houses in there, maybe.
yeah.
But they're talking about like $500,000 houses. I'm like, shit.
Yeah, five to $700,000 houses over there across from the elementary school, and I completely didn't even know about the ones over there up the street from Central. I had no idea they were doing that over
Yeah,
there.
yeah. All that's bulldoze over too. Like, yeah, yeah. And you're right, Dana. The $1,400 a month for a basic house. That's ridiculous. I mean, that's that's a studio apartment in Nashville now, though. That's what's crazy.
I don't
Like
even think
people
you can get it. I don't even think you can get a studio for 1,400.
probably not. Yeah,
I
you're
don't think
probably
you
talking like
can.
$2,000 probably just for a studio.
Probably.
You get a coffee maker and a microwave. Good luck.
It's getting ridiculous.
It's fucking stupid. Like,
Something is gonna have to. There's gonna have to be something that just there's gonna have to be a dam that breaks because
yeah.
the I mean everything is so stupid
So
expensive.
you can kind of relate
Everything.
because you got, like I said, you got family in the GM plant, so you got that working out now, and they're maybe talking about striking. But
Yeah.
the thing is like you and this is the biggest argument I have, and I'm on the employee side with, is you can't give your fucking CEO a $30 million goddamn bonus and then not pay your fucking people. That's some
hmm
bullshit. Like, I
Especially
understand
when
he's a
especially
CEO, I get it, but motherfucker don't need $30 million.
no no a
And I
year
think,
$30 million a year.
yeah, yeah, which is bullshit.
it's not like a one time thing. That's $30 million annually.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
Annually.
No fucking no way he needs that kind of money. Like nobody
No.
does.
No.
No, because the goddamn people that working in that factory is the one making your fucking money, so you need to take care
Yeah,
of them. That's
yeah,
the reality.
they're the reason why you've got billions and billions of dollars. Amy, what is rent going for there? Since you brought it up,
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, you brought it up, so well, I'll tell you this: when we were in Hawaii for our honeymoon, we kind of goofed around looking at we were on the island of Oahu. We were in we were just outside of Honolulu. I can't remember what town we were in specifically, but we were just outside of Honolulu visiting some sort of there was like a little area where there was a bunch of little temples and stuff. And there was an apartment complex that was up the street from it. And we just, as a goof, we're kind of looking at, I think the rent was a tiny
Jesus
ohana, at least
Christ.
2,000. See, that's what I was going to say is there was an apartment complex just outside of Honolulu that we were looking at. And I'm wanting to say, Angela may be able to back me up on this. I can't remember for sure, but I'm wanting to say that it was like 22 to $2,500,
Mm.
something like that.
Man,
It was
crazy.
ridiculous. And we're not talking like a 3-bedroom apartment or anything like that. We're not talking about anything like that.
Well, that's the thing is I have, like, not to get back into politics, but that's the thing I have with this country is we're sending money to other countries and then you're expecting us to fucking pay for it. Like
Yeah.
that, and that's how they're doing it. They're
Mhm.
they're raising the price on every fucking thing, so you have to pay more taxes. And you motherfuckers don't goddamn work for the tax money you're already getting. So
This is true.
but
That's
anyway.
definitely true. That was my last current that was my last current event story. So.
All right, so go over excuse me, a few other headlines here. Seven, excuse me, Seven Dust said they are down with a new metal revival. They didn't really say they actually wanted to put one together and have all the new metal bands, like I guess like a festival, a new metal festival or something, which would be pretty cool, I guess.
I'd be okay with that.
Death Clock's Brendan Small said Lars was correct about Napster and streaming, but he could have been a little more chill about it. So
True and true.
yeah, so excuse me. Yeah, now they need the whole town rebuilt over there in Hawaii, she said. So, yeah, crazy. Ozzy said his neck surgery will be his last. I'm in a lot of pain, which I don't blame him, man. It's only so many times you get cut on, you're just fed up with being cut on. So,
Yeah.
Korn's Brian Head Welch said there's new Korn music coming next year. So, there's another band that's thrown into the 2024 mix.
Yeah.
Important, you already talked about that, the West Coast Recording Studio. Rolling Stone founder Jan Winter, Winter booted from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame board of directors over some pretty dumbass comments.
I
But
saw that. Yeah, that was
good, good riddance,
really
motherfucker.
stupid. Yeah,
Yeah,
bye.
good riddance. Put somebody on there that knows what the fuck rock and roll is. How about that?
Yeah, there you go.
Let's see, which is crazy because I mean he's on the board and they letting all these other people that's not rock bands and
Yeah,
fit the description of what he was preaching against, which is pretty wild.
I nominate one of us, and we'll do it for half of what he was getting paid.
Fuck yeah, Will.
Yeah,
Heartbeat.
yeah.
Mudvayne singer Chad Gray said, "My therapy is writing those thoughts down and creating and connecting," which I think a lot of singers probably, or and songwriters in general, probably do a lot of that. So, Fear Factory has 8 songs in the can for their next studio album,
I saw that. I was
which
like,
is
God,
good news.
already?
Yeah,
Good Lord.
yeah, yeah. So that's probably a 2024 release we're looking at too.
Probably.
So, Ace,
I guarantee you, if Dino has anything to say about it, they'll probably put an album out next year.
oh yeah, Ace Frehley completes mixing 8 songs for his next solo album. So Deftones are hoping to release their next album in the spring or summer of 2024. That's the goal. So man, it just keeps getting
It
heftier and
does.
heftier. Ozzy Osbourne's son Jack gets married for his 2nd time, so congratulations, I guess,
That's
to
good
him.
for him.
So hopefully it works out this time. You don't do a 3rd. Tesla said they have no plans to retire. We're going to keep it up and go as long as we can. Which I think that's pretty standard with anybody in a musical or sports environment. I think they want to go as long as they can. Uh, and I know like sports is really cut short because I mean you're looking average 8-year running back. And that's about it. So
Yeah.
which I think that's another field that's paid way too fucking much money. But
Yes.
I'll
Yeah, it is.
digress there. But well, my thing is like you're giving these people millions of dollars for what? Like, I mean, that's the fans is the one that's paying the shit because then you have to raise tickets, you have to raise price of concessions in the damn thing. Like, why pay these damn people that much money? They got college degrees any fucking way to back up on. So if something happens to them, they got a college degree. So anyway,
Yeah.
yeah, have a good one, Dana. Thanks
Yeah,
for
Dana,
stopping in, brother.
take care, buddy. Have a good night, man. You and Krista both.
Sorry. Striper plans to return to pop metal sound on a few songs on the next studio album. I don't know if I'm okay with that, but
As long as it's not the whole album.
well,
Yeah.
I guess. Talk about solo artist. Iron Maiden's Bruce Dickinson announces a new solo album, The Mandrake Project. So, hey, good night, Krista. Thanks for
Good
stopping
night,
in with us.
Krista.
And so you'll look forward to that one as well. I think that's his first solo album in over a decade too. So
It's been a minute.
I think it was like 2000.
I'd have to look.
2002 or 3. I think it
Give me
wasn't
give me a second. I'll look. Hang on.
It may have been 05. I don't know, but somewhere around there. Pretty close. POD releases Drop music video featuring Lamb of God's Randy Blythe. Just to give you a heads up, not a lot of Randy Blythe in the song. So, Riot 5 or V, I don't know how they do that.
I still don't know. I still have no idea.
So they're going to release their new studio album in early 2024. So add that one to the list. Avenged Sevenfold's Zachy Vengeance says, "I never want to feel like I'm phoning it in." I don't know why why he would say anything like that. I guess to each their own. I don't feel like you'd want to.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't read that story, so I'm not exactly sure the context he's referring to, but I don't know if he's referring to the last 2 albums. He may want
right.
May want to
phone it in.
Yeah. He may want to kind of I don't know, kind of like do a little bit of self-reflection something like that. And 2005 was Bruce Dickinson's last solo
Okay,
album.
I thought it was around it.
Yep, you were right.
New Drowning Pool music coming before the end of the year. Says right now we're on fire. I hope so. I do like the Drowning Pool music with Ryan McCombs though. I do like that. So then Fozzie's new single Spotlight is to finally arrive in the next month or so. So maybe getting some new Fozzie music coming up pretty soon as well. So that is all of the headlines that I have for this week. So
not bad.
We can go over to Hitting the Road. I do have 2 things for Hitting the Road. One of them is kind of a
cool, man.
I guess they're both kind of stories. I know there's a lot to talk about, and then I know I didn't really talk about the one that I posted. I don't know if you have that on your list or not, but that
we'll see.
pissed me off that it's not over here. But
Oh well, I we did. Yeah, we when it was first announced, I remember talking about it, but yeah,
oh, did you?
yes,
Okay. Well, this one over from Blabbermouth. Pantera has canceled its appearance at this year's Aftershock Festival, set to take place October 5th through the 8th at Discovery Park in Sacramento, California. Replacing them on the bill will be Stone Temple Pilots. Yeah, that's a even trade, right?
not even close to a fair trade.
Earlier today, which this was Thursday, September 21st, Pantera released the following statement via social media. Due to circumstances beyond our control, we will be unable to perform at this year's edition of Aftershock next month. The event is monumental, and it pains us to have to miss it. We will, however, be back for Aftershock 2024.
There you
So
go.
obviously they've already worked out a deal to come back next year, so that's good.
Yeah, yeah.
That's good at Aftershock and them to kind of work it out too. So,
Mm-hmm.
um, and then I got August Burns Red announces the Christmas shows featuring Between the Buried and Me, Texas in July and more. August Burns Red has announced their annual Christmas Burns Red show for December 8th and 9th at the Freedom Hall at the Lancaster County Convention in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. The two shows feature August Burns Red playing headlining sets both nights. Alongside them will be on December 8th, of course, August Burns Red. They're going to be performing Rescue and Restore in full. Then they have Texas in July, Brand of Sacrifice, Spike, Crystal Lake, Once Nothing. And then December 9th, you got August Burns Red performing a 20-year anniversary set. Between the Buried and Me performing Colors in full. And then you got Kubla Khan, Galactic Empire, Signs of the Swarm, and Keonashi. Pretty good little lineup there. So, and I know they're on tour with some other stuff too. So I think they're actually on tour with the Brand of Sacrifice, Spike, and Crystal Lake. I think so. I think we talked about that one before. So,
I do believe so.
And then In Flames announced the U.S. tour dates with Havoc. That one pissed me off too.
Mm-hmm.
And the 4 dates there's only 4 dates there. November 16th in Denver, Colorado at the Ogden Theater. November 17th, Albuquerque, New Mexico at the Sunshine Theater. November 18th in Window Rock, Arizona at the Window Rock Sports Center. And November 19th, Phoenix, Arizona at the Van Buren. And they also have shows coming up with Whitechapel, which I think we've talked about that already, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think we did.
Yeah, that kicks. I'll just repeat it since it was in the story, but
That's fine.
Kind of kicks off 11/21 in San Diego, California at the Soma, and ends on December 16th in Laval, Quebec City at Place Bell with Voivod. So Voivod actually be on that bill. So yeah, of course, no Nashville dates on that, any of that. So
Right.
that's all that I had. So
All right. So for hitting the road this week for the dates, the 16th through the 22nd, starting at the PRP.com, as always. 3 Inches of Blood will now be playing 3 reunion shows at the Commodore Ballroom in Vancouver. They have added a show for January 14th, 2024. So you'll have 3 nights there in Vancouver, the 12th, 13th, and 14th. Armed for Apocalypse and War Curse are going on a West Coast tour in November with Ryle on the first 2 dates. That tour starts November 1st in Sacramento, California at Cafe Colonial, finishing November 10th in Kennewick, Washington at Ray's Golden Lion. Weekend Nachos have announced their first live shows since breaking up in 2017. Those 2 shows are November 18th in Chicago at the Metro, featuring Harm's Way, All Out War, Fleshwater, and Ingrown, and May 24th of 24 in Baltimore, Maryland at the Maryland Death Fest. Extol has dropped out of the Furnace Fest due to visa issues. That sucks for them. Bad Omens, Bring Me the Horizon, Cassette, and Static Dress are going to the UK and Ireland in 2024, starting January 9th in Cardiff, Wales at the Cardiff International Arena, finishing January 23rd in Dublin, Ireland at the 3 Arena. Bad Omens and Poppy are going on a European tour starting January 27th, 2024 in Berlin, Germany at the Columbia Hall, finishing February 11th in Milan, Italy at Alcatraz. Then Poppy is going on a UK tour on her own starting February 14th, 2024 in Stretford, England at the Academy, finishing February 21st in London, England at the Coco. Poison the Well is going to have 5 You Come Before You 20th anniversary shows in January. January 5th in LA at the Belasco featuring Hope's Fall and Willhaven. January 6th in Anaheim, California at the House of Blues featuring Terror and Spy. January 12th in Chicago at the Metro featuring See You Space Cowboy and Volcano. And then 2 shows on the 19th and 20th in Brooklyn, New York at the Warsaw featuring Indecision, Sky Came Falling, and X-Side. Static X at Seven Dust and Dope have announced the second leg of their The Machine Killer Tour for 2024, starting February 1st in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina at the House of Blues, finishing February 27th in Newport, Kentucky at the Megacorp Pavilion. Uniform is going on a fall tour with the acts varying by date and city. That tour starts October 22nd in Detroit at the Smalls, featuring Pelican and Upper Wilds, finishing December 1st in Philadelphia at the Union Transfer, featuring Baroness and Sheer Mag. That tour will be in Nashville on November 2nd at Dark Matter, featuring Body Void. Bleeding Through has announced a 20th anniversary show for This Is Love, This Is Murderous, featuring Unearth, Impending Doom, Lionheart, Of, Sulfur, and Salt Wound. That show will take place at the House of Blues in Anaheim on December 16th. Obituary, Psychroptic, and Black Lava are going to Australia and New Zealand in January of next year, starting January 5th in Auckland, New Zealand at Galatos. No Black Lava at that show, finishing January 19th in Perth, Australia at Magnet House. No Psychroptic at that show. Steel Panther and Moon Fever are going on a tour of the United States this winter, starting December 1st in Cleveland, Ohio at Temple Live, finishing December 17th in St. Louis at the Factory. Bell Witch has announced a fall tour with Spirit Possession as the opener, starting October 11th in Vancouver at the Rickshaw Theater, finishing November 10th in Boise, Idaho at the El Cora Shrine. Then with Ote Oni as the opener, starting December 6th in Oakland, California at the Stork Club, finishing December 16th in Seattle, Washington at Numos. Suffocation, Sanguisugabog, Organectomy, and Enterprise Earth are going to Europe in 2024, starting January 25th in Dortmund, Germany at the Junkyard, February 25th in Antwerp, Belgium at Zappa. From Autumn to Ashes is going out for their first live shows since December of 2021, starting November 19th in Lake Como, New Jersey at Salties, November 20th in Brooklyn, New York at the Meadows, December 17th in Baltimore at the Auto Bar, December 18th in Bensalem Township, Pennsylvania at the Broken Goblet, and December 19th in Cambridge, Mass. at Sonia. Over at loudwire.com, Bruce Dickinson, the Mandrake Project 2024 solo tours is going to be starting April 18th in Guadalajara, Mexico at the Diana Theater, finishing May 4th in Sao Paulo, Brazil at Vibra. And over at wearethepit.com, Chelsea Wolf tongue-tied. Chelsea Wolf, Divide and Dissolve are going on a 2024 tour starting February 27th in San Diego, California at the Observatory North Park, finishing March 30th in Los Angeles at The Novo. They will be in Nashville on March 5th at the Basement East.
Oh, nice.
So that'll be hitting the road for the 16th through the 22nd.
All right. I'll throw up the playlist of the week there before we get into the theme of the week.
Yeah.
So that is this week's playlist. And sorry. And then getting into the theme of the week, theme of the week this week is royalty.
Yeah. This one was fun to do.
Yeah, sometimes we did something similar though, because I was coming across some songs. I'm like, it's like I put that on a list before. So,
well, like I say, I went back when you asked me about it. I
don't think it was royalty. I think it was some other one. But
I went back and looked, and we didn't have one. We didn't have one entitled royalty. So as far as I knew,
I looked it up on Spotify too, and nothing came up. So
yeah. So
all right. I think that's one. I got 15, I think. So
me too.
So,
and I just
hopefully they're not doubles. But
yeah, and I just stopped myself there. I was like, I could probably keep going, but that's enough. So
yeah, I mean, like I said, if we got doubles, we can try to do some research and throw extras in there. So,
oh God, yeah.
So, all right, I will kick it off. My first one was Motorhead, King of Kings. That was from the WWE Reckless album from 2006.
I knew you were going to do that one.
There's a couple of bands I steered away from just because I knew I was like, hey, that's right up his alley. So
there's one song that I purposely avoided, and I will wait till the end to see if it comes up. There was one song I avoided on purpose.
We'd be bad if I miss it. My next one was Avenged Sevenfold, Hail to the King.
That was it.
From Hail to the King 2013. Uh, then my next one was Metallica King Nothing from Load 1996. And then showing some local love to Halo Scars, The Crownless King. This is their single from 2023.
Hell yeah, dude.
Then I got Guns N' Roses Rocket Queen from Appetite for Destruction 1987.
Nice.
And then I got Queensryche Queen of the Reich from Queensryche 1983.
Mm.
And then I got I Am Queen Incarnate from Eternal Steel 2022. Baby!
Baby.
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 That's just funny though.
Death metal singer who enunciated "baby" that clearly
right.
it was just weird.
I loved it though, man. It was
great. It was so great.
And I think it's probably the first time we ever had them on the list too. So there you go.
Yeah.
Then next one was Avatar: Queen of Blades from Avatar 2009. And then I went with Creator Demon Prince from Hordes of Chaos 2009. Then I went with Heathens Kill the King from Victims of Deception 1991. Then I went with kind of band name on this one. Fit for a King, Kill
That's
the
fine.
Pain from Slave to Nothing 2014. And of course, I had to stick Megadeth Kill the King in there as well from War Chest 2007. Then I had Accept Princess of the Dawn from Restless and Wild 1982. And then last but not least, I had Destruction Princess of the Night from Spiritual Genocide 2013.
Nice. Very nice. Not a single duplicate.
Holy shit, that's awesome.
Hell yeah. I know, that's great. Yeah, I avoided Hail to the King on purpose. I was like, nah, that's I was like, one of us is gonna have it. I don't want it to be me because that was like low hanging fruit. Don't get me wrong, I think it's a great song. The whole album is great as far as I'm concerned. So that was low hanging fruit. I figured
I think I rattled about 8 off before I had to start looking, but
yeah,
it was a pretty cool that it's pretty cool that stuff just comes where you like that.
Right. Yeah.
You're able to flow with it.
Yeah.
Without having to spend a lot of time researching. So.
Right. Yeah. All right. So hang on a second. I noticed a typo in here. There it is. Gone. Okay. So for my theme of the week, starting off, number 1, I had The Royal Guard by Sabaton off of Carolus Rex from 2012. Then I had King After King by Avatar off of Avatar Country from 2018. Then I had Electric Crown by Testament off The Ritual 1992. Nice. Then I had Kingmaker by Megadeth off of the only good song as far as I'm concerned off of Super Collider from 2013. Then I had Empire by Enforced off their War Remains album from 2023. Then I had Queen of Thorns by Iron Flame off their album Compendium from 2023. Then I had Bleed the Crown by Angelus Apatrida off their self-titled album from 2021.
I kind of steered away from that one
too. I wasn't gonna add it, but it's too good of a song. Then I had Killers and Kings by Machine Head off Bloodstone and Diamonds from 2014. Then one that made me laugh, I had King Queen by Gwar off of Scumdogs of the Universe 1990. Then I had Cybernetic Queen by Iron Savior off of Megatropolis from 2007. I had King for a Day by Primal Fear off of Delivering the Black, which is finally on Spotify. Came out in 2014. Then I had King Size by Anthrax off of Stomp 442 from 1995, which is an underrated album. I will fight you. Then I had Servant in Heaven, King in Hell by Creator off Violent Revolution from 2001. Then I had Sunset Over the Empire by Arch Enemy off of Deceivers from 2022. And then last and far from least, I had Fall of the Empire by Accept off of Blind Rage from 2014.
So our theme of the week last week, chemicals. I mean, Capitol Records. I think
Capitol Records was last week. Yep.
Yeah, that's what. That's why I make sure I post the right one.
So yeah, I'm gonna add Empire by Queensryche right now. I avoided that one because I was like, Jason will probably have that one.
Yeah, I kind of went a little bit further back, so
still not bad, but it'll definitely work.
And then that is the playlist from last week. Theme of the week, Capitol Records. A little short one, about 18 songs on there, so not bad. Yeah, especially when we listen to some old school stuff. There you go.
Oh yeah, that was a 90-minute throwback to some 80s and early 90s thrash metal. How could you go wrong? How can you go wrong?
Yeah. Pretty cool. But that's gonna be a hell of a damn playlist.
It will.
Good thing I'm on vacation tomorrow and be driving. So, uh,
Yeah, so I'll definitely make sure that I get it compiled tonight so we can get it complete and posted. You'll have it to listen to. So
you know, cool. All right. Well, I guess that will put us into album reviews. So,
oh yeah, dude.
man, have we really only been on an hour and a half?
That's it, man. Yeah, we kind of breezed
Yeah,
through the news this
yeah.
week. It
Even
just didn't go too bad.
rants. I'm like, wow, that's kind
Yeah.
of crazy. Oh well, I'm okay with that, I guess. So,
Yeah, it's not bad.
more time for packing, I guess.
Yeah, hell, not every show needs to be 2.5, 3 hours. That's fine.
Oh hell no! I mean, I'm okay with the pushing the limit for two, but yeah, these shows like this, I'm good with it being two and under. So,
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna complain.
uh, oh, good night, Amy.
Yeah, Amy, have a good night. I mean, not like it's not 6:30 on a Friday where you're at right now. So.
right? Yeah, yeah, yeah. No reason to go to bed this early.
Right.
She's probably eating dinner. Honestly, she's probably
Yeah, yeah, that's probably what it is. Got to go ahead. But yeah, Amy, we'll talk to you later. Have a good one. All right. Pull up my album review here. There we go.
All right, but anyway, uh, album review time here. So, should we? Yeah, yeah, we'll wait till the end. Screw it.
Yeah, we'll wait till the end. Yeah, wait till the end.
So, album review this week, I took on a band called Tyrannex. The album Reasons for the Slaughter. They are out of, I'm going to kill this fucking name, but actually, well, I don't know. They had like 4 different locations on there: Stockholm, and then Vasteras, Vastmanland, and then Gothenburg. So I'm not sure exactly where they're from now.
Ah,
so I'm guessing Gothenburg, as it says later. So I guess that's
yeah, they probably are in Gothenburg at this point. Yeah.
yeah. So, but it's still Sweden. So
Yeah.
there you go. Another thrash metal band from over there, which is unreal.
Nice.
So they have been active since 2005. So kind of a 2 weeks in a row learning about a band that I wished I'd have fucking knew about 10 years ago. But
Right.
so, but anyway, this the current lineup is I'm going to kill some of these names, so I apologize in advance. Lania Landstedt, guitars and vocals. Then we had Pontus Pettersson Gull, drums, Martin Maskin Pettersson on bass, and Will Tomeo on guitars. So hopefully I didn't butcher those too bad. This is the band's 4th full-length album, 9 songs, 35 minutes, 37 seconds. I will say this right out the gate, it definitely lives up to the thrash metal label there. So, man, this vocalist can definitely hit some freaking highs, man. I'm talking like they're in the like Rob Halford early.
Well, you can wail, huh?
Oh man, like I was like, damn, like he was holding one note. I'm just like, motherfucker, breathing. Somebody check on this guy. Like, damn, man. Fuck. Like, oh, damn.
I like that.
But yeah, he's definitely up there with some pipes, man. But and the guitar on this one was almost like a battle of who's faster. It was so crazy.
Oh,
like you could
I love that.
Oh yeah, it was just like, no, it's me. No, it's me. Like, golly, it's so fucking awesome. But of course, the drumming was just as fast, so it's kind of a more of a speed metal, I think, speed thrash metal, I guess, album than just thrash. I mean, it was definitely fast paced. They play these 9 songs and they're going to work up a sweat. So, but definitely love that that's the case though. I would say you could throw these bands in with the likes of Heathen and Havoc, definitely with their sound. So definitely can't go wrong there. So they did have a minute 23 intro, but it was called an overture. So I kind of knew what was coming just by the title.
I gotcha.
Just by the title. So really couldn't be mad about that. So at least don't label it Black Mass and then it'd be like a minute and 23. Like, what the fuck? But,
right.
At least you let me know like right out the gate. Which if you see the numbers there, you're gonna kind of know about what it is. But anyway, so Overall, man, this album was fucking awesome, dude. I'm gonna give it four horns. Definitely gonna be in the talked about list at the end of the year, probably. So definitely enjoyed it.
I mean, man, the 2020. I'm pretty sure we said it at the end of 22. I'm sure we did, but at the end of this year, the top 10 list for this year is going to be damn near impossible.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard, man.
It is going to be damn near impossible.
It's we still got some big hitters coming too.
Yeah,
So
we do.
so it's definitely going to be
Yeah, we still
a
have
rough.
3 more months to go.
Yeah,
God,
yeah. And October itself's got four big hitters in it. So
yeah.
so we're
Well, hell, the new
definitely.
KK's Priest comes out next week, for crying out loud. So I mean, and
Yeah, that's
we'll
right. Yeah.
obviously we'll get to that in a minute. But yeah, so I mean, there's still so much more
Mhm.
music being released in 2023. And if I had to put together the top 10 right now, just 9 months in, I'd be like, Jesus Christ.
Oh yeah, I'm already like I got the stuff in there, but to place them in a certain order, I'm like, oh man, this is
Oh, I know.
rough. I
I
think we're
know.
going to see a lot of bands we wouldn't normally see in a top 10 list, though.
Probably.
Yeah, definitely going to see some.
And
I guarantee you, like when we get to the end of the year and we see Loud Wires and Metal and all their top 10 lists, none of the bands we probably going to pick are going to be in that bullshit. So
probably not. Because I
because
mean,
they're going to have a Ben Sevenfold in it probably.
I bet no, I bet they don't. I bet they
Shit,
don't.
I bet they
Seriously,
do.
I bet they don't. I seriously doubt it. Now I know that to each their own, and that's fine. Obviously, that's one thing we love about this show and everything else, and even all of our publications that we reference our news stories from. We love them all. Of course, you know we don't agree with every viewpoint, but that's fine. That's to be expected. But
It's called reading the news. We don't.
exactly. But
That's what
I would
real.
be
That's what real reading the news is
yeah.
like.
But that album, I really think that by and large, I don't think there was an overwhelmingly good response to that album.
Well, I mean,
I really
obviously,
don't
if
think there was.
if them Shadows and them was already talking about writing music again already, I mean, obviously there was something
Well, I
to.
mean,
Actually, they're in Nashville tonight, so I'll
I
actually
hope
find out from some people how the show went. So
I hope that they do keep writing music because, like I say, I've been an Avenged Sevenfold fan literally
yeah,
from the beginning. Their whole career, I've listened to all of their music. I've been disappointed with the last two albums, but I hope I hope that's not like I hope these last two albums aren't the direction they go for the rest of their career. So I mean,
I mean, I don't think I think they'll eventually get
so
back into. They'll have to at some point,
yeah,
or
but I will say this that album will not be in my top 10. I guarantee you it won't. And
it might be the worst album of the year.
so far, I think it is my least favorite of the year so far. Um, but like I say, once it gets down to the end of December, it's going to be tough, and there are going to be some bands that don't make it that should. But
You wanna hear something else crazy? Is a band that we know kind of throws shit at us last minute. Non-Points
uh-huh,
got three songs released off of a supposed album,
mm-hmm,
but when you look it up, all three songs are listed under the same moniker. So I'm
yeah,
kind of like, they're gonna come up last minute and be like,
yeah,
"Oh, here's an album." Like,
probably,
shit, on December
and
27th.
yeah, and I will say this. I'm just speaking for myself here. Like I say, if I had to make a list right now, there is one band that would probably almost always make a top 10 list that probably won't be in mine. I'm not going to, you
Mhm.
could probably deduce it. I'm not going to say it, but cuz I mean just the overwhelming quantity of quality music that has come
Yeah.
out this year.
I mean, you've had big bands out too. It wasn't
Yeah,
like you wasn't like like I said, we talk about a lot of lesser known bands because that's what we do.
right.
We try to push those guys up on a pedestal a little bit to try to get them to be in
To elevate them.
Anthrax, or they can do things like those other bands do. But but you had Metallica and you've had Band Sevenfold. You had big bands that had
Mhm.
albums this year. So,
Yep.
and like I said, it's not over. I mean, we still got,
Yeah.
like we said, we got Go Ahead and Die. You talking about KK's Priest. We got In This Moment. We have,
Cannibal Corpse's new album just came out today. So I
yeah,
mean,
yeah, Angel Sapatrita.
and that's the thing is I don't even think you can I hate that you can't, but I still don't. I mean, Angela Sapatrita is huge for us.
Exactly.
I still don't think Angelus Apatrida is. I don't even still don't think you can call them a huge band. They're huge for us
Right.
because of what we do here at the show. So they're big for us, and so but still on a an international scale, I still wouldn't say that Angelus Apatrida is a heavy hitter. I want them to be, and I'm going to,
Right.
obviously we do everything we can to make sure that that'll happen for them. Cause I mean, hell, they've been around, damn near 20 years.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they've got a 2 decade long career also. So, I mean, but I still don't think you could put them in the same discussion as of right now as Cannibal Corpse and
Well,
Overkill, Avenged
no, no.
Sevenfold, Metallica. So, I mean, but again, they're one of those.
But I bet their album's better.
I I would, yeah. I'm putting figurative money on that.
And just to say,
So
I don't know if you've heard the latest In This Moment release, but that's 3 that they've come out with already, and I'm kind of okay with what they're
I
putting out. So
I have not I have not listened to the cover. I haven't
yeah,
listened to it yet.
yeah. I think it's a better fit for her than what she usually does with that kind of thing. So
Okay. Yeah, I haven't
uh,
listened to the new one
so I
yet, but
wasn't, and it wasn't a known song to me either until I went back to kind of compare, and I'm like, okay, I can see she kind of threw her own thing on it, but it was still not bad. You know what I'm saying?
mhm.
It wasn't like the in the air tonight what they did, or the with the Eagles.
Fly Like an Eagle.
Fly
Yeah.
like an eagle, yeah.
Yeah.
Which that was never one. I never liked the original,
Nah,
so
I
it's
don't care
kind of
for
a
that song either, but
it's kind of you have to like an original almost to well in some cases.
mhm.
Ashes Rain, of course, did that Painted Thrash, which I'll listen to way more than I will Painted Black. So,
Well, and Devil Driver's cover of Sail
oh hell
is
yeah,
so
most
much
definitely,
better. Is so much better.
probably one of the uh, better ones there.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
I will
All
say
right.
this: who was it? Wolves at the Gate. So that whole album was covers, believe it or
Okay.
not.
All right.
Yeah, so some of that was
So,
pretty cool. I actually listened to a few of just to see what it sounded like. So that's pretty good.
yeah. So, was that the only album you got through today?
Yeah, that's the only one I got through today.
Okay.
So
All right. Yeah, I was only able to do I was only able to do one also, and that album.
there's also about 20 EPs on this week too.
Oh
That
yeah,
I'm just
yeah,
like, oh, I could have dug into some of those, but
yeah. Well, my album this week was the new album, "Glory" by Fire and Sword. They are a heavy slash. Of course, they're all heavy metal bands. I don't know.
well,
I don't
right.
know what, but they are a power metal band formed in Boise, Idaho, in
Oh
2017.
wow.
Yeah, another band from Boise, along with Lifeform.
I would have
Um,
never thought that by listening to the single they had out.
right. Yeah,
I was like,
yeah,
I could have swore they were. I was like, oh yeah, that's gonna be another overseas.
probably European band. That's what I thought
Yeah.
too. It's good though. It's good to
Well, yeah. I mean, they
American
obviously
power metal
got a
band. I like that.
niche because you don't hear a lot of that from over here.
They
So
do. Their lyrical themes are fantasy and religion, and this is their debut LP. They had an EP come
okay.
out in 2019, but this is their debut full length studio album. And this particular album is 10 tracks long, 48 minutes and 49 seconds. And their current lineup consists of Zach Darbin on bass, Mike Mulcock on drums, Mike Ward on guitar, Artos on guitar, and Tom Newby on vocals. This one, like I say, it's a power metal, it's a power metal album, which you know me, I'm it's right up my alley. This one, like you said, you listened to the single, so
Hmm.
I was extremely surprised at how clean this guy sings.
Hmm.
I was it was very very strange in a good way, but it was just super duper unexpected because even like a lot of power metal, I mean even a lot of the amount of power metal I listen to, the lyrics usually aren't this clean. I mean this dude,
Right.
this Tom Newby guy, I mean he sings almost as clean as Nicholas Stalvind does from Wolf, and
Mm.
that dude from Wolf, he like enunciates when he sings. That dude enunciates like every goddamn letter. It's insane
Mm.
how clear he sings. So I kind of got that same kind of vocal vibe from Tom Newby, but not not quite to the high end.
Hmm.
But still, and I don't know what song was their single, but they also kind of threw in a little bit of keyboards every now and then, kind of like
Mm-hmm.
Spillage does, but not to the extent that Spillage does. So they threw it and they kind of sprinkled it in there. Um, and I will say this: their lyrical themes are fantasy and religion. They really, really like to sing about religion. I mean, they are. This is a very pro-religion band, which I mean is totally fine. No, it's not that not a problem at all. I mean, you got song titles like "Tithe," the Money Song, "Glory, Love, and Night." "Dear Reverend, Please Take My Hand," stuff like that. There was track number 7 was a moment of silent reflection. It was a 5 minute and 21 second instrumental, which was actually very,
Oh,
very
nice.
well done. It was well done. Uh, Overall, I mean, this was a good album. I did enjoy it. It did get a little. One thing that kind of it was a little. I don't know if you would call it off-putting. It was a little distracting though, because I mean, with their lyrical theme being primarily religion, there was a lot of spoken word, kind of
Okay.
sermony, preachy
Right.
stuff that they threw into a lot of the songs, and it's not my favorite thing to do. I kind of get that it kind of fits with the motif that they're going for, so it does work, but I could have done without the frequency that they
Mhm.
that they went with that. Um, but it was okay. There really wasn't there were no ballads, but there was a little bit more of a track number 9, "The Flood," was probably about as close to a power ballad as this band gets, at least so far this early in their career. But there were no full-fledged ballads on here, so I mean it was a good up tempo. It was a good up tempo power metal album. The songs were put together well. The guitar work was good. The drums, nice and gallopy on the double bass, like I like all that good stuff. So really, no major complaints with the musical composition. There was a nice diversity in the rhythms. So nothing, no good. There wasn't anything stagnant with like the guitar riffs or anything like that. So it was really nice. So I'm going to give this one 3.5 out of 5. Pretty good place to start for their first studio album.
And their single was "Leave a Little Room." So,
Oh, the very first song. Okay, "Leave a Little Room" was the first song on the album. Okay, so yeah, but yeah, not bad at all.
all right. So, what we got to look forward to next week?
Yeah, September 29th. We're getting close. A rather lengthy list to choose from this coming Friday too, which is nice. Leading off with 68 with "Yes and." Then we have 72 Legions with "What a God Could Be." Uh Antimos de Beast with "Land of Nod." Ashbringer with "We Came Here to Grieve." As in Hell with "Impi Aura." Atina with some Subway Anthem. Atropine with "Sanity Desecration." Avulsed with "Vomiting Corpses," the 90s Regurgitations box set. Bear with "Vanta." Besra with "Transitions." Beyond Shadows with the self-titled album. Blackbriar with "A Dark Euphony." The Black Furs with "Doomed Blues," that's a re-release. Blackstone Cherry with "Screaming at the Sky." Broken Vow with Anthropocene. Caged with "From Roving About the Earth." Cloudcatcher with "Return from the Cauldron." Code Orange with "The Adult." Columbarium with the Morbidius one. Cromlech with "Cold and Stiff." Dark the Suns with "Raven and the Night Sky." Deathblow with "Rotten Trajectory," that's an EP. Densacalde with "Pestin Samtar Over." I don't know. Desecracy rather with "Deserted Realms." Dictatorship with "Electric Jihad." Diamond Dogs with "About the Hardest Nut to Crack." Disguised Malignance with "Entering the Gateways." Dismal Aura with "Imperium Mortalia." Dwal with "Never Enough." Diecrest with "Once I Had a Heart." Erupt with Nihilosophy. Emile with "Spirit." Fake Figures with "From Within," that's an EP. Falling Giants with "Whirlwind Hymns." Filth is Eternal with "Find Out." Friendship Commanders with Mass, Grails with The Burden of Hope, that's a re-release, Graveyard with Six, Grove Street with The Path to Righteousness, Harm's Way with Common Suffering, Hawkwind with Space Ritual 50th Anniversary Edition, Heavy Lungs with All Gas, No Brakes, Helve with To Be Forgotten, The Hirsch Effect with Urian, I Am Low with Uma, Infernal Throne with Callum et Infernum, Jacket Thief with Lights Out on the Shore, Jagged Doctrine with Eve of Destruction, Cambodia with Resilient, Chimera with Statements of Intent, Carambolage with Pros, Karis with We Poison Their Young. We have Cadaver Fucker with Super Killer, A Musical Journey Between Life and Death, KK's Priest with The Sinner Rides Again. We have Koshamkin with Le Kesselinge, The Satanic Rites of Cobram, Light Lorn with At One with the Night Sky, Maggot Heart with Hunger, Martin Simpson's Destroyer of Death with Eternal Reign, MDC with War is a Racket, Moonlight Sorcery with Horned Lord of the Thorned Castle, Moonspell with The Antidote, that's a re-release, Nervoso with Jailbreak, Naganga with Pathesis, Nikki Stringfield with Apocrypha, Octoom with a self-titled album, Nova Doll with Denaturing, Obsidian Tide with The Grand Crescendo, Of Virtue with Omen, Omnivortex with Surgery, Pansarituho with Senansataya, Peach with a self-titled album, Primordial with How It Ends, Rat King with Psychotic Reality, Red with Rated R, Rocky's Pride and Joy with All the Colors of Darkness, Roarcal with Silence, Ruin Lust with Dissimulant, Sacred Dawn with Dismal Swamp, Sacrifier with The Art of Decay, Satanic Tea Company with Celestial Beating, that's an EP, Sempris with A Fractured Reality, that's an EP, Silverstein with Rediscovering the Waterfront, that's a re-release. We have Sim with Play Dead, Cinery with Below the Summit, that's an EP. Sins of Shadows with Awake, Sleep Theory with Paper Hearts, that's an EP. Speed Trip with Apocalyptic Kill Zone. We have Sprengkopf with a self-titled album, Stepmother with Planet Brutalicon, Steven Wilson with The Harmony Codex, Stoned with Rebirth, that's an EP. Superlinks with 410, Svartkonst with May the Night Fall, Teotopia with Glitch, Taproot with Scissors, Terra Builder with Solar Temple, Tides of Sulfur with Apathy Chasm, Torch It with Tainted Souls, Transilience with Nerve Saw, that's an EP, Trivax with Eloa Burns Out, Various Artists Faster Than the Devil 2, Vera Bloom with It's Me, that's an EP. We have Walge Fluster with Unter Brunskenen Cronin, Wishbone Ash with Live Dates Live. That's nice. Wizards of Wiznon with No Light Has No Shadow. That's true. Woe with Legacies of Frailty. And last but not least, Wolves in the Throne Room with Crypt of Ancestral Knowledge. That is an EP. So all of that we get to sift through for next week, September 29th.
Which we would probably want to get to talk about. But
that's right. Tell them why.
So, but we are going to have a guest next week.
Yes.
Band Contortion. I know at least one member we've been in contact with is going to be on there. I'm not sure about the rest of them, but
yep.
And they are going to sacrifice their morning for you guys. So hopefully,
they are
joining in. So
yeah,
it's going to be about 5 a.m. for them over there. Yep. And he was like, yeah, it's doable. I'm like, okay. So,
yeah. Hey, yeah. They're over there in Switzerland. So
yep.
So whatever we talk about, they're going to be neutral on it. So
exactly right. We don't do that here. That's what
no, we don't. No, we don't. No, they don't. But whatever it is, they're right down the middle.
Yep. No, so looking forward to that interview though, because like I said, it's a band that kind of once I got to the EP last week, I went back and listened to some back catalog all week, and it's freaking. I've been missing out, dude. I'm telling you.
Me too. I listened. I've gone through the entire catalog at this point. I did the same thing as you did. I listened to the EP and I just went backwards from there. I was like, good God, man. They're kind of like. I would say that they're kind of like this year's Angelus Apatrida. I don't know. I mean, they could be. I mean, they really could.
Yeah, if it was a full length, it'd definitely be in the running. I mean, right now it's probably top of right there at the top of my EP list. So
Yeah,
Them and Elevate's probably fighting it out right now. So,
I would say yes.
uh,
I would say yes.
which I'm gonna try to get through a couple of EPs. I actually had them marked. I just didn't get to them today because we were trying to get everything ready for vacation and stuff. So I didn't really have a time to listen to anything. So, but yeah, there's a couple of EPs I have marked on here. So I'll try to get around to that and
That was actually the
maybe
first
do a write
EP.
up.
That was actually the first EP I've listened to in like almost 3 months.
Oh my god!
I
Yeah, I
know.
only have I only
I
have three or
know.
four listed on my OneNote. So
Let's see. I
that's
have
probably going.
listened. I have listened to 17. So I mean, I have done better than I did last year,
Yeah,
but I'm still way behind.
yeah, yeah. I haven't listened to. Well, I take that back. I haven't rated the ones I have listened to high enough to be in the talks, I guess.
Oh, okay.
But yeah.
That
So,
makes sense.
but now my albums of the year list is it's up there. So
Man, I guarantee you.
I have about 14 albums on there now. So
Yeah.
and those kind of the ones that are just like I said, the higher rated albums. I wasn't gonna put everything on here that I listened to because some of it didn't
Right. Yeah.
to me. Like I said,
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I
great
totally
great
get
for
you.
somebody else, but,
Yeah. I totally get you.
so definitely going to be challenging. I think so.
Yeah, it will. It
I'm
will.
probably going to have to go back.
I'm looking forward to it though.
I'm going to have to go back through like the notes and make sure that I put it all in here too, because I know like I got my one notes in quarters, so I can go back through later on and look at the albums I reviewed and make sure they're all in there before I start making decisions. I guess so.
Oh, that was actually smart. I've just made a list for the entire year. That was actually a pretty good idea.
Yeah,
Breaking it up
I
quarterly.
got my one notes and I got my album of the year. I got my album reviews for the album of the year at the end of the year. I got that, and I got the EPs in a different one, and then I got the whole content for the year. I got it broken out in quarters. So,
Nice.
so actually, be coming up on Q4 when we actually
Yeah,
come
we are.
back. So,
Yeah, we are.
so here we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, so right there at the 2 hour
Yeah.
mark, pretty much.
Not
So
bad.
we did get it stretched out. So,
We did.
uh,
Yeah.
but want to thank Dana and Krista and Amy for all joining us today. So
They're becoming regulars in the chat, which is
yeah, which is cool. I
yeah,
love
it's
it. I
very
love the
nice.
interaction. So
Hell yeah.
wish we had a little more of it, but
Yeah. It's getting there. It's
yeah,
getting
yeah. Anyway, so like I said, hopefully you guys enjoy the content today. And like I said, we'll be back next week with a special guest on from Contortion. So
there. Hmm.
looking forward to that.
Yep. In the meantime, between now and then, go ahead and head on over to the merch store at metalheadsuniteusa.com. You see the website address scrolling across the screen right now, and here in just a second, you'll also see the link. Well, not the link, but you'll see the address for our 24/7 radio station, stream.trulyradio247.com/8006/stream. We also have our metalheadsuniteusa@gmail.com email address. Then we also have our Instagram, our TikTok, and our Rumble. So we got the Facebook group that Amy and Krista and Dana and many others are members
Yeah,
of.
we
Come
got a
on.
lot of traffic this week. I was kind of
Yep.
surprised. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, it was nice.
I think actually a couple of people from the Blue Ridge thing actually came over. So,
Oh, see, that's nice. That's
so
nice.
if anything come out of that whole deal, then that
Yeah,
was
there you go.
some pretty positive stuff. So,
Yeah.
then of course I think some metal and tats people actually come over too because I posted a link in there a while back.
Yeah, that's
Dana was
nice.
like, "Yeah, man, you need to go over there and check them out." So,
Yeah, and yes, go over and check out Dana and Krista over at Metal and Thoughts.
yep.
And also, while we're talking about it, go and visit our friend Victor over at Rock and Heavy. So
Glad to see he's doing good too. I
I
kind of commented on that the other day. I was like, "Yeah, keep us updated. I know he's got a lot going on with his
yeah, he
eyes." So.
does. Yep. But it sounds like it went well, which is good. So
yeah, great. So,
and yes, don't forget to check out all of our past interviews on Spotify, and then all of our weekly playlists are over there too. So
And then I'm going to do a lot of work while I'm on vacation. Don't get me wrong, but when I'm in the hotel room at night and not doing shit, I'll probably fool around with the merch store a little bit and try to get some winter stuff in there because it's getting to that time of year. So
Thankfully.
yeah, right after this summer, we're ready for something.
Yeah, I'm done with
It's
summer.
gonna be nice up in Michigan this weekend. So.
Yeah, man. You know me. I'm jealous. I'm jealous. You're going to be in my neck of the woods this week.
Yeah. I told my wife, I said, man, we probably need to like take that Notre Dame plate off our car, man.
Nah, you'll be fine. Nah, you'll be fine.
I was just messing with hers.
Yeah, no.
Now
You don't have any Ohio State shit on your car, so you'll be fine.
Yeah, I'll be all right. Yeah, I think that's a mutual respect between Notre Dame and Michigan, even though they're rivals. I think they're mutually respected. So
yeah,
especially since they both don't like Ohio State. So
that's true. Which by the way, tomorrow night, go Irish.
Yes.
Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
yeah,
Yes,
go Irish.
God almighty.
Yeah, that's gonna be the test, man. We're gonna see how good they are. So
That's true.
Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. And like I said, we will have some lead-ins to the guest next week. I'll start promoting that pretty hard on Monday, so trying to get that push. So so don't. If you didn't hear it here, maybe you'll see it there. So
that's right. That's right. Well, you did hear it here first. So
that's right.
You heard it here first. That's right.
So anyway, hopefully you guys will join us back next week for the interview. It's going to be I think it's going to be good and fun. So
yep,
like always. So until then, hope you guys have a good week. Keep those horns held high. Jump in that pit anytime you can.
Have a great week, guys.